BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guest here, Spencer Williams from Lighten Up Initiative, and he's played a spicy hot game called Aftermath. I don't know a lot about it. I haven't played it. What's the elevator pitch on this, Spencer?
So Aftermath is from Plaid Hat and designed by Jerry Hawthorne, who has done Mice and Mystics, Stuffed Fables, those kinds of games, the adventure book games. And this one is another adventure book game. And the setting is there's been some kind of calamity that's happened, and the humans have disappeared. And all that's left to roam the earth are various, little critters, rodents, rats, lizards, cats, all kinds of critters are the main characters in the game. And so
it's with critters instead, basically, right?
Yeah.
World? Okay.
Right. And they understand that the humans are gone, and so they're mystified. They don't know what happened, where the humans went. And so there's this mystery going on. Like, that's not the main point of the game to figure out what happened, but it is woven in through the story elements of the game. And I think that's really neat. And that's one of the really great things about the game is the story. There's a lot of great heart and interesting stories written into this game. But it's one of those things where you play on the book. One side is the map, and the other side is all the different adventure text that when you go to a point of interest on the map, you read the entry over here on this side of the board or on the book. But what you do is each time you play, you choose a mission. And each mission may take 3 or 4 or sometimes 5, 6 pages of map space. And it'll say, if you exit here, go to page, 74. And then once you are down page 74, you might go to page 23. You never know where it's going to take you. But it's a campaign game for sure. And there's a lot of time there. It's not just something that you'll be, I'm going to play 3 games and I'm done. If you want something that you can play out over a long extended period of time, this is a good one for that. And that's why it's something I want to talk about now as it's fresh on my mind. We've been playing it so much over this quarantine.
2-player?
You can play it 2-player, but we've been playing it with our daughter who is 7. She actually does she does a decent job with it. She understands the mechanics. Her main thing is just her attention span. Some missions can go maybe an hour. Some can go longer than that. And so right about that hour is when she starts getting kind of squirmy and starts getting distracted.
Is it appropriate for kids? Because it seemed like Stuffed Fables had a lot of darkness in it, right?
This one actually, I would say, at least from what I've seen, doesn't really have what I would call darkness in it. What's funny is you look at it, it doesn't look like a kid's game. And I wouldn't say that this is, for 7 or 8-year-olds. Definitely geared more towards an older audience. But that being said, it's not inappropriate for a 7-year-old. And she loves it. She wants to play it all the time. And we're always like, yes. The mechanisms have been, I would say, upgraded from Stuffed Fables. It uses a card system instead of dice. There's a little bit more control over what you can do instead of just leaving everything up to the dice rolls. Great characters in the game, lots of adventure, lots of exploring you can do. I love it. I think it's an awesome job done by the Plaid Hat team. And if you're into story-driven games, definitely recommend this one.
We've been playing one called Forgotten Waters from Plaid Hat, and I think that's the next evolution of that Aftermath system. It sounds a little bit like it.
So Forgotten Waters is one of their crossroad games, like Dead of Winter.
Right.
So I don't know if it's an evolution, maybe more of just like a borrow of that system of
but it doesn't feel like Dead of Winter at all. It feels more like those storybook type games because as you're going through the story itself on the map tiles, it says, we're doing it digitally. I'm assuming that this is how it works if you play it physically. It's telling you to go to this certain map or this certain card or this certain page, and you flip through and go to because on the TTS thing it tells you number 51, and I'm assuming that references a page sort of like you're talking about with Aftermath.
Yeah. Little known fact: I actually play tested Forgotten Waters.
Oh, okay. So when you think about the two of them, which one gives you more of that story flavor?
I only played through one mission of Forgotten Waters.
Okay.
It's hard to say, because with Aftermath, every mission that you go on is part of the entire, story. And there are at least 22 missions or side missions.
And your characters carry through from mission to mission?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So
with a campaign, though, with a campaign or something legacy like that, do you need the same number of players and the same people playing each time, or can people drop in and out?
They can drop in and out. We switch characters. We don't play with the same characters every time.
Important.
Yeah, and it's completely resettable. So if you play everything that you want and you want to reset it and give it to somebody else, you can do that. And there's no like real linear aspect to it. So like their missions will be, you'll unlock missions as you go through, but they'll be numbered. So I could do mission 5 one day and go and do mission 17 the next day. So it's much easier to drop in and out of something like that than another campaign game maybe.
Thomas wants to know, hey Spencer, what does it take for a game like Aftermath to make it into your collection? What's that selling point for you?
For Aftermath, first of all, it's for a review. So, but I'm holding on to it because of first of all, the experiences we've had as a family, my wife and my daughter and I. It's been something that we've all played. It's not something that Laura and I play and then maybe bring Emma in. We've all played it. So just the experience we've had as a family, have really enjoyed it. It's the reason why I want to come back to it over and over, because sometimes it's me saying, Emma, you want to play Aftermath? The sense of adventure in the game, not knowing what's next in the story, and I want to know what happens next, so let's play our next mission. I want to improve my character. I want to get new skills for my character, so let's go on a mission. I'm ready to discover more aspects of the story, and I like the mechanics too. I mean, that's a major part of it as well. The moving around on the map and going to certain points of interest,
right?
And discovering, okay, this on this map, it's a post box or a mailbox. What's it say over here? What's the corresponding text here? And then the combat is fun, fighting against the different critters that you're going up against.
Is it deterministic, or are you rolling dice?
It's with card. Well, there are dice that go into your skill checks. But to make yourself better at those skill checks, you can play cards as long as you have the right cards. So that's where that comes into you have a little bit more control over than just simply rolling some dice. If you've kept the right cards for the certain skill checks, or you can have your teammate pass you cards as part of one of your actions. You can have the right cards to help you really improve your chances of your skill checks. Yeah. And the overall aesthetic of the game is great. They did a great job with all of the components and the illustrations and graphic design to convey this post-apocalyptic world. It's a really well done project.
And I know you said you might not have been an RPG kind of guy, but it sounds like this is one of those games that is blurring the line between where do you have a board game and an RPG.
Kind of. What I will say about this, though, is that it's all, there's no any kind of improvising or real creation on your part.
Right.
There's definitely, you are playing roles as these mice, and you can read the text in your own voices as you want to, as when it comes to the story. So yeah, in with that regards, definitely
more structured, more maybe not on rails, but more structured than an RPG.
Yeah, definitely.